I mean, why would Angel Reese want Caitlin Clark in this new league? If Caitlin Clark is there, the spotlight of Angel Reese, it becomes a shadow.
For months, one question has quietly haunted women's basketball: who actually moves the needle? Now, one announcement has forced the entire WNBA world to confront it, and not everyone is handling that reality well. When Caitlin Clark's name became linked to Unrivaled, reactions poured in. Fans celebrated, executives panicked, and Angel Reese? Her response, subtle to some, explosive to others, may have revealed far more than words ever could.
Unfortunately, it's a star that most people don't like.
Unrivaled is a new professional women's basketball league built around a short off-season window, a condensed format, and heavy media backing. Its goal? To capture attention during a period when women's basketball traditionally goes quiet. The challenge? Visibility, star power, and relevance.
They are offering Caitlin Clark $1 million for 2 months of her services. $1 million to carry a new basketball league from January to March.
Despite impressive intentions and financial backing, Unrivaled faced a familiar problem. Fans didn't know who they were supposed to care about. Multiple media analysts openly questioned whether the league had a breakout star capable of driving ratings, ticket sales, and sponsorship interest.
Unrivaled is going to feature the 30 best pretend basketball players, with the vast majority of them being anonymous. Now, they do have one star committed to playing in the league.
Caitlin Clark is not just a player. She's an economic force. From college to the pros, her presence has repeatedly resulted in record-breaking attendance, historic television ratings, and unprecedented mainstream coverage. This is not opinion, it's documented.
And in the same vein, they were also liking negative comments about Caitlin Clark from the official Unrivaled basketball Instagram account, like during the season. So all of these things were just not a good.
Industry insiders reported that once Clark's availability became realistic, conversations around Unrivaled changed overnight. Suddenly, sponsors listened. Networks paid attention. Ticket projections shifted. Not because the league changed, but because one name entered the discussion.
Unrivaled League needs Caitlin Clark, and they are preparing to offer her a massive deal. But is it all too little too late?
Angel Reese is a star in her own right, a champion, a cultural voice, a player who has consistently spoken out about compensation, visibility, and respect in women's sports. And that context matters.
Caitlin Clark doesn't need any money. She has plenty of endorsement deals. I think she is totally fine. And I think for her body and for her mental health, it might not be the best thing for her.
But the moment Clark entered the Unrivaled conversation, the contrast became unavoidable.
So do I think Caitlin Clark should join Unrivaled? I'm not so sure. I think that the money needs to be high. It needs to be in the millions. It needs to be at least what Cube offered her for the big three at minimum.
Reese never directly attacked Caitlin Clark, but timing, tone, and public behavior told a different story, at least to fans watching closely. Liked posts, cryptic comments, interviews framed around who really deserves attention. In today's media ecosystem, silence can speak just as loudly as words.
I thought WNBA players didn't like Caitlin Clark.
This isn't new. Reese and Clark have been connected since college, a rivalry amplified by social media, headlines, and endless debate. One embraced as the villain, the other marketed as the hero. And now, that same dynamic has followed them into the professional world.
So Angel Reese is playing in this league. Dejanay Carrington is playing in this league. Obviously, I feel like that's the biggest name where there is some sort of tension. Whether there's tension between Caitlin and Dejanay, we don't know, but there is still that narrative.
Here's the uncomfortable truth. Leagues don't survive on fairness. They survive on attention. Caitlin Clark brings eyeballs, and eyeballs bring money for everyone.
This is your opportunity to see if you can survive without her. This is your opportunity to see if Angel Reese is enough of a draw to carry a new league. I think the answer's no, but
if Clark joins Unrivaled, it forces a larger conversation, not about jealousy, but about structural imbalance. Why does one player carry an entire ecosystem? And what happens if others follow the money?
what Ice Cube offered Caitlin before the Big Three season began. I commend Ice Cube because you have to think about the type of...
So here's the real question, and it has nothing to do with Angel Reese or Caitlin Clark personally. Is women's basketball finally ready to confront how star power actually works? Or will it keep pretending every player moves the same needle, even when the numbers say otherwise?
Here's the potential problem. Caitlin Clark already has money. She signed a $28 million deal with Nike. She's got endorsement deals from State.
The announcement that Caitlin Clark is being linked to the new unrivaled women's basketball league has sent shockwaves through the WNBA world, and the reaction from Angel Reese has become a major talking point across sports media. This isn't just about one player joining another league. It's about power, visibility, money, and an uncomfortable truth the women's game continues to wrestle with. Not all stars move the needle the same way. Unrivaled was introduced as a bold off-season alternative, a 3-on-3 league designed to keep women's basketball relevant during the WNBA break. With major media backing and ambitious promises, the league positioned itself as a disruptor. However, from the start, analysts questioned whether Unrivaled had the star power necessary to survive. Talent alone isn't enough in modern sports. Attention is the real currency. And for months, Unrivaled lacked a name that could guarantee it. That changed the moment Caitlin Clark entered the conversation. Clark is not just a great player, she's a proven ratings engine. From record-breaking college viewership to sold-out WNBA arenas, her presence consistently translates into tickets sold, TV numbers, and sponsor interest. Networks don't speculate about Clark's impact, they measure it. That's why her potential involvement with Unrivaled immediately reframed the league's future almost overnight. Angel Reese's response must be understood within context. Reese has built her brand as both a dominant player and a vocal advocate for better pay, respect, and equity in women's basketball. She has never hidden her frustration with how the system values players. But when Clark became the focal point of Unrivaled's momentum, the contrast was unavoidable. Reese didn't issue a direct attack, but subtle reactions, timing, and past statements fueled online speculation. In today's sports media landscape, perception often matters as much as intention. The Clark-Reese dynamic has history. Their rivalry, amplified during the LSU Iowa College championship run, was framed as more than basketball. It became a cultural debate: hero versus villain, marketability versus attitude, celebration versus criticism. That narrative never disappeared. It simply followed both players into the professional ranks, where business realities now make the differences even sharper. Here's the uncomfortable truth many avoid saying out loud: leagues survive on attention, not equality. Caitlin Clark draws casual fans, non-traditional viewers, and corporate sponsors. That doesn't diminish the talent or importance of other stars, but it explains why executives prioritize her presence. When one player can change a league's financial outlook, decisions stop being emotional and start being economic. This situation isn't really about Angel Reese being mad or Caitlin Clark being favored. It's about a system that places enormous weight on individual star power because the ecosystem itself is still fragile. If Clark joins Unrivaled, it could reshape off-season basketball and pressure the WNBA to rethink its financial structure. If she doesn't, it exposes how dependent new leagues are on a single superstar. In the end, the question isn't who deserves more. It's whether women's basketball is ready to confront how influence truly works and what happens when one player holds the leverage everyone else wants.